Welcome to Freaky Fauna Friday, where every Friday we take a little time and explore some of the freaks of nature from around the planet we cherish so deeply. So please, jump aboard and let's explore the wilds together. Welcome back to Freaky Fauna Friday. I am the great and peaceful Mystery.
And I'm Jay.
And today we're going to talk, well, before I tell you, Jay, what we're going to talk about.
Yes?
What is the craziest example you can name of an animal that only lives in a very, very certain habitat, off the top of your head?
You
know some good ones. We've talked about some ones that are hyper specialized in very, very small habitats.
True. Like the pink fairy armadillo.
Yeah, that's a great one.
There's those birds that only nest in like certain mountain cliff faces, right?
Yeah.
But other than that, they're normally just flying everywhere. Yeah. So, I don't know. Those first two that come to mind.
Ironclad snails was another one.
Sure, that's a good one. Deep sea,
but on just volcanic vents.
Yep.
Very small. So this guys and gals we're going to talk about, this animal is even smaller than that.
Okay.
They only live on one species of animal.
They live on another animal?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This is the sloth moth episode.
The sloth moth.
Mm-hmm.
No way.
Can you say sloth moth 3 times fast?
Probably.
Let's hear it.
Sloth moth, sloth moth, sloth moth.
That last one was getting towards the edge of not being the words.
Oh my goodness. Everyone's a critic.
The sloth moth is a Corphiophagus moth. It has evolved exclusively to inhabit the fur of sloths.
So it lives in their fur?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
And it uses sloth dung as a substrate for the early stages of its reproduction.
It's reproducing on sloth poo?
Mm-hmm. Then there's 6 living species of sloth moth. None of them have common names besides sloth moth. Crazy scientific names. I'm not even going to try to read them. Insect scientific names are normally even harder to read than vertebrate scientific names.
Gotcha.
Because there's so many of them.
And they're bug people that name them.
Well, because you ran out of everything else.
Right, yeah. Well, I just mean they're already weird to begin with.
They're
I'm just kidding. I'm making fun of your neighbor, but he's not. Yeah, I'm just teasing him.
Leptotinian moths is what they are. There's snot moths from the Pilophilidae.
Snot moths?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
They have evolved to inhabit sloth fur exclusively. Typically, sloth moths follow a life cycle broadly in the lines of Corpius copii, a moth in the snot moth family, and lives exclusively in the fur of brown three-toed sloths, which is a subspecies of three-toed sloth.
Mm-hmm.
The adult female moth leaves the fur of the sloth to lay her eggs in the sloth droppings when the sloth defecates. And it's normally once a week.
Oh, so it physically leaves the sloth's body. Like
they live in the fur, and the only time they leave the fur
is to land on their poo to lay their eggs.
Land on their poo and lay the eggs.
The
larvae of these moths live in the dung, and the newly emerged moths later fly around to find other dung piles in the forest canopy to find their host sloth.
So do moths reproduce? Like, how do their eggs? They give birth to, like,
they lay eggs.
And then what are the eggs? What hatches out of the eggs? Is it actual?
A larva.
Which is like a worm, right? Kind of looking caterpillar looking type thing. Then they make their cocoons.
Yes.
Is that our moths the same way? All right. Just making sure.
Yeah, moths are a lot tougher than butterflies when you're looking at this stuff. But yeah, so these moths spend their life, they're adults, and almost entirely in the fur of sloths. Mostly, though, the three-toed sloth, except when the sloths descend to defecate, the females, fly down and dig into the dung with their ovipositors. An incumbence in the population sex ratio favors males has been noticed and surmised as female moths not making it back to the host sloths after they lay their eggs.
Oh.
So when they catch these sloths, they do like a survey of male to female sex ratio on it, and it's really, really heavy towards the male.
Right.
So their theory is that it's not that more males are hatching, it's that females rarely make it back after they lay their eggs.
Okay. like a female salmon.
There you go. Sloth moths are thought to get their nutrient from the secretions of the sloth's skin.
Oh, that's so gross.
And the algae that is present on the sloth's fur.
It's so gross.
But this is the greatest protection against any avian predators, where there's a lot of flycatcher birds and that kind of stuff, these little insects. So living on this big gross sloth is great.
Yeah, I mean, and it's probably great for the sloth too, because I bet you that I don't know what do the moths eat.
I just told you.
The secretions.
The secretions in the algae.
So it does eat the algae. It doesn't just protect. Okay. Yeah, it probably helps. It probably helps like groom the sloth there. I bet it's a co-inhabitant relationship.
Some individual three-toed sloths have been recorded carrying more than 120 moths in their fur. Two-toed sloths are recorded as harboring lower populations. Several different moth species may coexist in the same host animal.
Oh, I believe that. That's so nuts. It's like finding when you find sticks in your hair.
So, do you think it's weird that these animals adapted to live on such a small animal?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's that weird. I think there's other weirder examples that would take precedence.
Like what?
Well, like the and I don't know if it's by choice. I think a weirder combo would be the spiders and those frogs, where they're living on basically living on each other, but they're living with each other. I'm not
talking about symbiotic relationships, and this is just, I don't think this is symbiotic.
Okay.
It's not mutualism either. It would be one-sided beneficialism, where the host is probably not being impacted in any great way. But the moths are making out on the deal.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not parasitism, because the host isn't really dying or losing anything out of the deal.
Okay.
So I think it's one-sided mutual or one-sided beneficialism. It doesn't matter.
Fair.
But there's a lot of different relationships when two species kind of do this thing. The sloth is basically an island for these insects.
Right.
One of the big thoughts is that it's weird because sloths are these three-toed and two-toed sloths. There's a bunch of subspecies of them, like pale-throated sloths, brown-furred, three-toed sloth. There's a whole bunch of sloth species.
Okay.
But there's two lineages left, the two-toed and the three-toads. It is odd, though, that such a slow-moving, low-population animal would have several species evolve to live on it.
Okay.
One of the thoughts is that, sloths ruled the world for a short period of time. Giant ground sloths. There was aquatic sloths. So these may be holdovers from that time to where they would infest giant ground sloths.
The moths you're talking about.
The moths would.
Okay, the sloth moth.
So they were more adapted with their, elephant-sized cousins. And then when they went extinct or became very, very, very rare,
right,
they hopped over.
Right. The next best thing.
Yeah.
That they could recognize.
Mm-hmm. But they couldn't scratch them out, it still grew algae on their fur, had similar fur textures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're interesting. There's not a lot on them besides what I read, but what do you think?
It's an interesting little animal. I can't believe moths, I guess, learn to live off sloth fur and secretions. It reminds me of like the cabbage moths.
Yeah.
Like
cabbage butterflies.
Cabbage butterflies. Are they not moths?
No, they're butterflies.
Okay.
There's the white ones.
What are the yellow ones?
It's another one. I think they may be cabbage butterflies too.
Okay. All I know is they're all in our driveway right now, like crazy.
Drinking the water.
Yep. You drive through the driveway and there's a cloud of them. Mm-hmm. That's the only other one that comes to mind. Something even remotely similar.
Well, yeah, butterflies and moths are famous for being hyper selective for eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Where they lay their eggs.
Oh, yeah.
Monarch butterflies and milkweed is a famous one.
What about the spice bush?
I was going to say the tiger swallowtail butterfly and spice bush.
Yeah.
That's the only plant they lay their eggs on.
Right.
So they just don't come to your area anymore if you got rid of all the spice bush.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get rid of all the sloth poop, you don't have sloth moths.
Oh, no. Save the sloth poop.
Yeah,
Save the sloth moths.
Maybe we'll do a snot moth episode.
Oh, my gosh.
Would you like that?
Probably not.
You wouldn't like that?
Not
great.
A snot moth. Be the last thing I want to come across.
What do you think they eat?
Snot?
Good guess.
Be my guess, yeah. Mucus.
They're prettier than sloth moths. Oh, they have a lot of. I pulled up their little page. They have a lot of different species.
Well, maybe we'll save that for the next episode.
16,000 described species.
That's a lot of snot moths.
Very few of them actually eat snot.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's been the sloth moth.
Oh.
Like I said, not a lot on them, but cool little creature. Sloths are basically wandering around islands out there. We'll have to do an episode on sloths here soon, too.
Yeah, I can't believe we haven't yet.
Have we not?
I don't know.
I can never remember.
We've talked about them on the other show often.
Well, I've been the great and peaceful Mystery.
And I've been Jay.
We'll catch you next week, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Freaky Fauna Friday. If you want to help the podcast grow, remember to share and give it a 5-star review.